Here on GoPSUSports.com, Beaver Stadium locker room on Bowl Media Day with Trace McSorley. Trace, finishing strong in the classroom. Did you have a lot of finals, and if so, what was kind of this period this last week like for you?
I had more final presentations over the last couple of weeks of classes. I only had one final, so it was a little bit laid back, but still, a lot of work that had to be done.
Balancing all the academic stuff in between practices, lifts, and stuff like that. What's the process like, kind of adjusting to that balance with, so many high stakes things taking priority right now?
It's just figuring out, taking it one thing at a time. Not, looking at everything and getting overwhelmed by it. It's just, taking it one thing at a time and being present when you got to lift. Just when you focus on the lift, when you're watching film, focus on film, and then when you're studying or doing like group projects or whatever that is, be there and be present and contribute if you need to.
Fiesta Bowl announcement obviously coming out, but I'm curious from the player's perspective and from your perspective, what was the immediate reaction when you found out they'd be heading to Arizona to be able to play Washington in a second consecutive New Year's Six Bowl?
I was excited. Obviously playing New Year's Six Bowl is something that we were looking forward to. It's something that was one of our goals, to be in this position at the end of the year when we started. And then when we found out it was a Fiesta Bowl, I was excited. For me, the first college game I really remember was watching the Fiesta Bowl, Miami versus Ohio State. That was for the national championship back in the day. So be able to kind of go back, and that first game that I remember, watching as a kid, and then being able to play in that same game is pretty cool.
Have you been able to kind of spend any time? I'm sure you've probably been busy with those final projects. Getting into Washington a little bit and figuring out, what to expect.
Yeah, we've been able to get in and watch some film. It's been a good study break for an hour or two a day, just watch some film or kind of get your mind off of school, which has been good. But being able to watch what they do, they got a lot of really good players and a lot of guys that can be game changers, so we got to be ready for that.
Obviously Penn State, Washington, two great, solid quarterbacks. From your perspective, do you spend any time, studying, Washington's quarterback at all, or do you just kind of focus on what you need to do in your preparation?
I've actually never really watched him on film. I'll watch his games. I actually know Jake. We met up at an uplifting athletes thing one time and kind of became friends through that. So stay in touch with each other. So when we found out we were playing each other, you kind of text each other, hey, we'll see you out in Arizona. But I haven't watched too much of them other than watching the games on TV. But extremely good player. It's something that I know our defense is focusing in on a lot to be able to keep him contained.
Some staff changes. Obviously, Coach Ronnie now going to be the offensive coordinator and quarterbacks coach. What's exciting about that from your perspective?
I really like Coach Ronnie, and it's a great opportunity for him. For me, he was the guy that kind of recruited me and brought me in here. So to kind of be able to work with him as now the offensive coordinator and again as my coach for my position, I'm really excited about the mentality that he brings. He's keeping that same aggressive mentality, but he's kind of got that chip on his shoulder as well. So I really like that, and what he's bringing to our offense.
Does your relationship change with him at all now that he's in this new role?
Other than I'll see him more often, but other than that, no. We've had a really good relationship since the time I've got here. And now I just see him every day, and be able to meet with him as opposed to just seeing him out on the practice field.
How about some plans for you? Are you going to be able to get some time, to go home to visit with family, or is it just going to be kind of staying here and getting ready and prepping?
I'll be able to go home at the beginning of next week. Be able to go home, kind of take some time at home, see my family, do a little couple Christmas things with them, and then be able to get on the plane and head out to Arizona.
Great. We'll catch up with you in Arizona.
Good.